Hey, the patch for Speed Brawl actually came out today. Now, you might have to go to your Switch and prompt it to download it. It'll be 1.01. Before I start, I'm going to say it is not a stable 60 FPS. It does still chug quite a bit. The load times have not been fixed as well. Basically, this is the version of the game that we were supposed to have like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But for whatever reason, Nintendo didn't include that patch, and then it actually got rejected, I think like a week and a half ago, and then they had to put it back in certification again. And Nintendo said something like, they were going to put it in the fast track for certification, which apparently takes like 2 weeks. So I actually queued this up like right before I left to go do some errands, and I played quite a bit on the bus. It is quite a bit more stable, but it needs more optimization. I talked to them in their Discord, and they basically said that this is the first time they've seen it on a retail Switch, like, as in something besides a dev kit. So I'm sure things will get better later on. You see the load times are still quite long. I think that's something that needs to get fixed just as much as the frame rate, because man, if you want to just play like a single level on this, there's still quite a bit of waiting before you can actually get into the game. So also the like the timings and stuff for the levels have been rebalanced. Basically, you're playing on like the unintended like super hard mode version of the game, and the frame rate and stuff chugging all the time didn't really help with that at all. It does still chug quite a bit. This is my first time playing it in docked mode, but I talked to the developers and they basically said that it still chugs quite a bit. So maybe that's something that they will fix later on. So I'll go ahead and I'll play through 2 levels here. Should get a pretty good idea of how it still lags.
Emma! Time to practice! Cassie! Cassie's the best!
I feel pretty bad for what's happened with this Switch version. I mean, it's taken over a month for this patch to come out, and they still need to do more patching to begin with, but I couldn't really start until they had this one out and they got it out of certification. So I'm sure that the load times and the frame rate will definitely get optimized later. And for now, it's definitely more playable than it was. I can say that much. See, it's still chugging.
Down to me! Big move! Venom strike! Mighty Pixie attack! Solid! Spinning strike! Alright! Back off, Buzz!
I just like how much it still chugs, but it's better than it was. It just still needs more work. I'm kind of a little disappointed. I thought it would be a lot more stable than this, but it's still pretty choppy.
Oh, too easy.
Apparently the game is like CPU bound, so docking it doesn't really seem to be making much of a difference. I'm noticing lag spikes and stuff in pretty much the exact same spots. I just played this level like 3 times in the past 2 hours as I was on the bus for like 15 minutes or so. But they basically have had no experience with seeing this on a retail Switch. Like I said, they've only seen it on the dev kit, so I'm sure that now it's out in the wild, they'll be able to give a better, get a better idea of what they need to fix and how to fix it.
Ever!
Wizard of Legend had this exact same problem too, and they were able to fix it in a patch. It might just be like something with Unity. That game was a lot like this when it came out at launch. Like it's really laggy, like long load times. It kind of disrupted the flow a little bit.
Think you're here! Spinning strike! This is going to be fun.
Move it! Battle 2!
Hey!
Confusion grenade!
Venom Spiral!
Confusion!
Multool! Spinning strike! Going to be fun! Venom Spike! Yummy roar!
You can see, like, it's definitely not 60 FPS. It still feels like uncapped, like 30 or 40, which is still pretty awkward to play as.
Can you do that? Cassie's here! Spinning strike! Booyah!
Alright, well there's some gameplay. It is kind of a little bit of a disappointing patch, but it's not like they actually did any additional optimization. This was basically what we were supposed to be playing this whole time. I'm sure that now that this is actually out on a retail Switch that they will be able to optimize it further and hopefully it'll get better. It's mostly just the fact that the frame rate is uncapped and it rarely seems to hit 60, and the load times is what's bad about the game on this version right now. Otherwise, it seems like it's been improved marginally. I'm sure that it'll get better later on. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that as the game progresses. Thanks for watching. Peace.